Well, I'm glad to be here. So yeah, I'm the COO of HireHost. Jimbo, my president, the CEO. And so he wasn't able to join us today. But the reason that I wanted to hop on here was to really explain truly what HireHost is. So HireHost really is on the track to be transforming the way that people in those corporate companies are getting jobs, because we are all inclusive to everybody, not just these small to medium-sized businesses that need 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 jobs filled, but the ones that need, those double, triple digits jobs filled. And we don't want it to be, obviously that might mean that there is more of a budget for them to spend on those open jobs, but we don't want it to be looked at like that. We want everybody to be treated fairly, the pricing to be straightforward, our platform to be user-friendly to everybody, you to be able to get matched to users, no matter the type of job that you're looking for. You could be a big corporate company looking for tech people. You could be a big corporate company working for salespeople, managers, all kinds of different things. And so we want to be inclusive to everybody. It doesn't matter the type of job that you're looking for. It doesn't matter the type of job you're posting for. You're going to be able to come to HireHost and be able to get matched to people who are truly a good match for your job. And that's how we're training our AI right now in our development, is just to be as accurate as possible. We're building very extensive profiles for both the seekers and the hosters, or the job posters, to really have the AI have a better understanding of who is who. Who is Mikayla, who is ABC Construction, for example, right? Like everything about them can be laid out on this platform, and it gives the AI so much more ability to be connecting people. In the past, we've had Jim and I both experienced, being connected to jobs that we weren't even qualified for. And then, when you're in a desperate job search, it's very daunting and it's a very hard process. If you randomly get laid off or you lost your job unexpectedly or anything, it's a scary time. And so to be consistently matching with jobs that you're not qualified for and then applying for them and getting no callbacks, it's a hard feeling, right? And so we want people to be connected to jobs that they are qualified for and have that better ratio of getting those callbacks. Yeah. Yes, I appreciate that. And that's exactly what we're aiming for. And HireHost is so much more than just that. When Jim and I created HireHost, to me, that was the obvious one, was getting connected to jobs you're qualified for, because I've been more on the job seeking side. And I just remember how I felt and how hard of a process it was until I got a call from Jim, who is now my boss on the other end. And it was like the greatest day. I was like, after all this time, I finally was able to get a job. But before that, it's a very hard process. And so that was the obvious thing that we wanted HireHost to do, with so much more. Like I mentioned, there's so many other resources and things that people will be able to utilize within our platform, because we want to be that one-stop solution to job searching. So you don't have to go to so many other places to get all the other resources that you need. Good questions. So like I kind of mentioned already, HireHost was created for a handful of reasons. We, being in the staffing industry, use our competitors every single day. And Jim was always on the job posting side a lot longer, and I've been on the job seeking side a lot longer. And so when we came together and we're on that job posting side, because of the staffing agency that we're a part of, it really it sounded like day in and day out, we've just been on both sides of everything, and we've both seen and experienced different things just with our, previous job experience and our education and things like that. It's 2024. Finding a job does not need to be a daunting process, and job posters shouldn't have to be in the dark of what they're paying, getting connected, and wasting a lot of time, through that process. You can have so many applicants in one job post, and it take you a long time to go through all of those. So we're streamlining the process for not just the job seekers, but the job posters too. They are not left out in this process at all. And so currently we're in our phase 1 of development that's set to be done at the end of April, so 2 months. And then we're going to start right into phase 2 of development. And the difference between phase 1 and phase 2 is, phase one is like the foundation of your house. You have to have the base before you get to all the pretty stuff, we like to say, inside, right? And so we're very amped up to, see phase two and phase three, because that's when HireHost is really going to come to life, as Jim always says. Phase two should take about 3 to 4 months, because like I said, with the use of AI, we want to make sure our AI is up to speed, the best it can possibly be, is trained as well it can possibly be. And so we like to allow ourselves a little bit of time with that. As soon as phase two would be done, we would jump right into phase three. And that should take about 4 to 5 months. And then after that, we would be ready to go to market. We are going to be on a subscription based for both job seekers and job posters. But when you maybe hear me say job seekers, like there's subscriptions, only if you want there to be. Job seeking, you don't have a job, right? So you needed things to be free. But we've created additional resources within HireHost, very affordable cost for the job seekers to purchase if they want. They can do everything that they can do now on any job board for free with us. All of those additional resources within HireHost. We were very unorganized, Jim and I, when we were in our previous job seeking experience, going to several different sites. And how do you keep track of everything? On a notebook, that's sometimes not the best. And so that's kind of why we are trying to make this foundation in phase one so extensive, because we don't want to leave anything out. We don't want to leave anything out. And this is our shot to make the job board industry something unique and amazing. And we don't want to mess that up. I will give full credit to my partner, Jim, on that one. He actually came up with it. So we were picking around with, slogans, and we had something and we're like, we just don't love it. And then he was like, wait, what if we do empowering careers 1 AM match at a time? And I'm like, yes, like that is it. Like, how did you come up with that? And it really just truly explains who HireHost is, right? We keep talking about the AI, the use of AI. And we don't want people to forget that. When you think of HireHost, we want you to think of the use of AI, right? And so that's kind of how we came up with that. We want you to believe that every time you get matched to a job, it was for a reason, because it was, you were connected to them in some form. You were a good match, maybe not a great match, but you were a good match and you had qualifications for that job. And then that's kind of where on the back end, your profile and your interviewing skills that you can learn through us are going to help you seal the deal and get that job, right? Every job poster looks for something different. Some job posters might look for, what's on paper, what's on your resume. And some people might be looking for those personal skills or how you present yourself. And so that's kind of where on the back end, you're still going to be able to have help through HireHost, because we're going to be able to prepare people for interviews. What do you do after those interviews? How do you accept job offers? How do you talk about those salary negotiations? And I know that's like a little bit off of, your question, but that's the whole scope of it, right? 1 AM match at a time. It's every time you're getting matched to something, it was for a reason. And hopefully to get you a job much faster is the end goal of all of it. HireHost is going to be the first of many things for a job board, and the customer service behind it as well. When you are in a job seeking experience and you are seeking help, what am I doing wrong in this job seeking journey? We have resources for you, right, within our platform. And we're going to have chat bots and that you can, be utilizing to ask those questions. When you're stressed and overwhelmed, you might need to ask something as crazy as where can I, update my resume in HireHost, if right, something that you need a quick answer to. But then we know that people might not always, like that. So we also want to offer that human touch of things through our career coaches, through our 24-hour customer support as well. We want people to have the help that they need when they need it and not have to wait for it, because job seeking looks different for everybody. Some people might like job searching at 2 a.m. and they might have to, do their things during the day. And that's when you could get connected to someone, typically is during the day. Well, we want to make sure that the people that are doing their job seeking in the middle of the night, for example, they can still have those resources like our customer support and be able to utilize those chatbots within our system at all times to get the answers that they need. And so between our overall just concierge service is what we call it, just really providing for every single user that is on our platform. a job, I keep talking about the job seekers, but the job posters could be having the same struggles. Maybe you're a new business owner trying to post for a position that you don't know very much about, right? You just know that you need a salesperson, for example. Well, if you put a very low salary, most people might not be applying for it, right? Well, if that job poster doesn't know it, we'll help you with those things. We'll pinpoint those things for you, realize those things. When you're not getting answers, you will be able to find those answers within HireHost. So that's a little further step. I wish we were there, but we're not yet. Because phase one, like I said, is really that foundation, right? So once phase one is done, it's going to be very easy to then get people on the platform. So right now, what we're currently doing is trying to go get those people. We're marketing to get those job seekers and those job posters. And no matter the type of job that you want, there's so many jobs out there right now. Content creation, who knew that was something that's so popular, but it is in 2024. And so people from that end of the spectrum to UI developers, to managers, to engineers, everybody. And so on our marketing platforms, right now we're really streamlining a bunch of different areas to just try and attract a lot of different areas of people, both job seekers and posters. And then kind of just that cold outreach through emails, and then as well as LinkedIn messaging. And then once we can get that steady base of people on our platform in phase one and being able to get on there, use it, see like what we need to tweak, what needs changed, that feedback, that initial feedback of, oh, I really liked, this resume builder, but this could be changed, so those first X amount of people at the beginning are very crucial. And so that's why within the last month and these next 2 months, that's what we're hitting the hardest is. And so that's kind of what we're doing now. And then once that happens, it'll just be steadily advanced because we'll always need people on our platform. So it's all about marketing and who we're trying to target, which is just about everybody, but people that are in that market to be job seeking. And LinkedIn makes that very helpful. People always post when they're trying to hire on there. And so that's another really good resource as well. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. I'll go back a little bit to the start of why we even looked for someone like Marquee. And that's because Jim and I will be the first people to admit when we need help with something. And that was to seek investors because we didn't know anybody. We didn't know the first person to even ask. And so having a resource like Marquee is very crucial because they were able to, get our campaign set up for us and have that connection. I know that they're doing it on our basis, but having that platform of investors that they can reach out to automatically and know about is huge because, we're doing our day in and day out operations. Well, that's on the back end. As things are ramping up, we're obviously starting to kickstart some things too, but those first several months and still now, it's just really nice that things are getting done on the investing side while we're doing our day in and day out stuff. And that it takes a load off because that's a lot of time. It doesn't sound like it would take a lot of time to, email 30 investors or reach out to 30 LinkedIn connections a day, but it does. You're crafting emails that are not just copying and pasting because no one wants to read a copy and pasted email, right? There needs to be that customization and you don't want to just cold outreach any fund. There has to be a reason behind it. And so that's what's really nice is that Marquee is doing all of that for us and taking that time away from us so we don't have to be worrying about that. And we've had several people respond to us and just say very positive things. I mean, I had no idea that investors were so nice. I mean, there's even the ones that aren't interested, they're so nice about it. And I would have never expected that, truthfully, because working in sales, and as anybody would know, sometimes people just really don't. And so having those investors and that positive feedback that we've gotten from Marquee is just, it's really positive. And this is a daunting process, right? When you're in the investing stage, and it's one that never ends. And so it's really nice that we can have Marquee in our corner. They've helped us so much with our business plan and our pitch deck. Akash is our guy, and he's like truly the best. I always am emailing him, asking him to help us make adjustments, and he does a it right away. He's awesome. Our campaign manager, I'm one that if something's not working, I'm like, let's change it up. Like, let's change our email pitches or our LinkedIn pitches. And they're super great about reviewing everything that I send and then implementing those. So that's super great as well. I love the flexibility. And even though there's that drastic time change, you really wouldn't even know it, because I really truly appreciate the great communication that all of your guys' team has done for us.